Beer has a much wider range of flavor than wine does. In fact, it's not even close. And the reason for this is pretty simple. Brewing is actually a lot more like cooking than it is like winemaking. So if I want coffee flavor, perhaps I'll actually use coffee. Maybe I'll bring in some spices, and there are dozens of spices that can be used in beer. So beer is diverse and interesting. And what's fascinating is that the wine market is actually exactly the same as the beer market. Now, when we think about wine, we think of something in a really nice bottle with a nice label and a cork and whatever else. In the United States, the truth of American wine, I hate to say, it's a bag-and-box or it's a big jug with a finger loop. And that is 90% of the market, and we have the 10% at the top. When people think of beer, they think of the mass market beer, but they don't think so much of the craft beer. So even though the two things are identical in that way, people look at the high end of wine and the low end of beer. So we like to redress that a little bit. And one way that we do that is we actually do a lot of pairing of beer with food. Beer actually is a better overall beverage for pairing with food because it's more diverse. You have things that have roasted flavors that work really well with chocolate, for example. Caramelized flavors that really pick up on caramelized flavors in food. You can have wheat beers that are even more delicate than the lightest white wine. Or the oldest beer that I've ever had was 130 years old, and it was spectacular. There's a whole range of beers that are made to age. You can read some wine books and they'll actually tell you very quietly, actually beer might be better, but most people don't know this.